Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with FX Market Insight for Thursday, the 7th of March. Now, first of all, apologies. I didn't get a chance to do the Market Insight before those Aussie retail sales figures. My computer crashed and thankfully it's rebooted itself. It took about 2 hours. So now I'll just have a look at the Aussie retail sales figures first and just show you what's going on now. The setup here for the Aussie retail sales figures, really good. Okay, we've got technically it's going down, fundamentally it's going down. This is the follow-up data that's really going to give it a kick. And if it comes out significantly weak, then we do see a move to the downside. Now, let's just have a look at exactly what happened here. There were some trade balance figures out as well. The exports were up, but let's just have a look at the Aussie as it sort of pans out here now. So sort of technically, to me, you know, we've got that sort of downtrend at the moment. We've got that resistance line here. This resistance here looks nice, really nice for me to try and get into another short trade. This is the nice level to get in. Now, on the data, it was sitting just around 30, just around here. Now, we did see a pop down just under 20, just quickly on the numbers. The retail sales figures themselves came out plus 0.1. All right, now if I just bring you back across, this is where you get conflicting data, right? And it can really come in and screw things up. And what I'm talking about is, and this is peripheral sort of data as well, not majorly significant. Now, retail sales figures, 0.1. Now, this is well inside the range. Okay, I've just got to stretch this across a touch. Now, it's very important what the range of expectation is, because that sets the how hard traders will hit it. 0.1, okay, it's on the low side, but it is well within 0.5 to minus 0.1. Okay, so, and then you have these positive numbers, imports, exports, particularly the exports is a good sign. Obviously, with the Aussie dollar coming off, you'd expect that exports to increase. Now, that's put a little bit of a big tone under the Aussie dollar. And what that means is it's stock traders selling. Okay, so what we've got a situation is, at the moment, it doesn't change the overall trend, but short term, there's no levels down here. So traders are squaring up. Now, what we'll see, I think, is a short squeeze back to this sell zone here. Don't underestimate it. You can see it already sort of starting to climb. Because there's no levels back until 70, 65, 70, 70, we could see it easily squeeze up here during the day. Now, I got into the trade around 25 and was out of the trade within a couple of minutes. I didn't like the price action. I didn't like the way things were moving. And this is trading off my laptop since the major computer was down. So you got to work with what you've got, and that's what I was doing there. Now, if I just bring you back to the MyFX Trading Hub, now focusing on what is actually coming up. Now, this is what traders are always doing. As soon as an event passes, they come back and they think, well, where's the next action? Now, today we've got the ECB interest rate meeting and then followed by the press conference. Now, no change in rates expected, but always expect the unexpected, right? I'm not saying they're going to change rates, but just be aware these ECB meeting is a big thing. Last month, Draghi came out and told us that the growth is falling off the radar. So Euro started coming off. Now, what we've got a situation is, and this is the only data for today, then we've got to wait for Friday's two major employment numbers, the Canadian and the non-farm payrolls. So coming back to the to the Euro, now it is drifting lower on the hourlies, still hasn't broken down on the daily or weekly charts. Fundamentally, it is still trading sideways as well. Now, Draghi hasn't signalled anything about cutting rates, so we do need to wait to hear what he has to say. Now, just looking at the chart, okay, so you get this previous support line. Now that the currency has actually sort of formed a bit of a low down here, you can start to use that as the next basis for our second touch on the trend line. But you can see that's a pretty flimsy looking trend line to me. Right? It's got two touches. It's the only thing we've got to work with though, just under 112 or around 112.85. And if anything, you've got a bit of a short-term resistance line on the top side, just forming here off this high across here. Now, that's all we've got to work with. So there's plenty of action here. And as you can see, why I've got Euro sideways on my FX Trading Hub is, if you look at the overall scheme, it is just trading sideways. So now, chance of Euro bouncing, pretty limited. If Draghi reiterates the problem with growth, etc., then we may see euro come off. Otherwise, it's just going to drift sideways from here. So it's a little bit interesting. And when you go into and you drill into, say, the dailies to try and find out where the next major level is after this, okay, you're really coming back a fair way. Look at this low back at Q4 2016. That's where the next major level is. And you think, well, hell, that's a hell of a trend line there. Now, for me, those big long-term trend lines, I'm going to change colour for that thing, give it a bit of a green so I know where it is. And that's, to me, a major focus. So if it breaks down through there, and whereabouts is it? Let me just line that up with this level here. This is the key level here for me. So if it breaks down through 112.50, euro has got every sign of like heading down, well under 110 anyway. We're testing 110 the figure. But these are your levels, short-term levels at the moment. Keep an eye on those. As I said, the ECB, it's going to be the major focus because not only is it a big event, it is the only event on the calendar, right, for today. So make sure you do tune into that. Just be aware you have to be square euro and euro crosses for these two releases. All right, guys, that's the trading day ahead. All the very best. Cheerio.